morning, everyone. My name is Tracy Kantowski, and I'm the Communications Director for the Global Prebiotic Association. We're back today with another GPA Member Spotlight. And joining me today is Julie and Damien from Nexira. Hi, Julie. Hi, Damien.
Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
Before we get started on some questions, we'd love to get to know you both a little bit more. Julie, we'll start with you. Could you share a little bit about your role at Nexira?
Yes, sure. So I'm the marketing manager for Nexira. So it means that I work on the communication and on the product development with the R&D teams.
Great. And Damien, could you share a little bit about your role?
Yes, I'm the Scientific Development Director, so I'm handling all the scientific studies in order to substantiate health benefit demonstration.
Great, thank you. Well, we're so excited to have both of you here and learn a little bit more about Nexira. And to start, actually, Julie, I think you were going to share a little bit with us about the history of Nexira.
Yes, sure. So maybe let me begin with our values, which are passion for botanicals, innovation with new ingredients and new studies, sourcing. So it's not only sourcing, it's a real expertise in raw material sourcing to secure the procurement, sustainability, because we are also involved in sustainable development, and human to encourage development of people. So Nexira is a global leader in natural and organic botanical ingredients and the world leader in acacia. The company has more than 125 years of experience. It's a family company, so we are fully independent. We have our own facilities in France, and actually we've just increased our production capacity for the acacia fiber to answer the rising market demand. We sell our products worldwide through our subsidiaries. And at the beginning, actually, we only have acacia, and it was mainly used for its technological properties, for example, as an encapsulating agent or emulsifier. But Nexira has always believed in acacia potential. So very early in its history, Nexira began to focus its scientific research on the nutritional benefits of acacia as a dietary fiber. So we've run numerous studies since the late 70s. And thanks to our studies, the acacia prebiotic effect was demonstrated. So today, our research and development department still work to develop new products, acacia-based products, to demonstrate also the health benefits of this product. And for example, we were one of the first supplier to demonstrate the prebiotic effect of the baobab and acacia and baobab synergistic blend. So it's always a balance between sourcing, sustainability with a lot of science.
Great, thank you. And you've had some exciting news on your acacia fiber recently. If I correct, I believe I saw announcements saying that acacia is now officially classified as a dietary fiber in the US. Can you talk about the process you went through to get that classification?
Yeah, you're right. So it was a long process, starting on May 2016, when the FDA published new rules impacting the nutritional and dietary supplement labeling. So these new rules were questioning the dietary fiber status of acacia. From this point, Nexira was really at the forefront of the discussions with FDA, and we have invited other manufacturers of acacia around the table. And I can say that our regulatory team was really a catalyst in this action. So as I said, the process is complex, but briefly, we had to convince FDA that acacia has a health benefit. So with the other acacia suppliers, we have conducted 2 clinical studies. and one was coordinated by Nexira at the University of Minnesota. And then we have submitted the results to FDA. At this point, Nexira wanted to anticipate and to have a stronger dossier. So Nexira decided to conduct an additional study. So it was the third clinical study, and it was done by our side. And on January 2020, FDA denied the two first studies, considering that the evidence was insufficient. Well, so at this point, we were still waiting for the results of our own study. We received this result in 2020, and they were excellent. So we decided to share these results with the Acacia group. And the results were submitted to FDA on December 2020. And so 1 year later, on December 2021, FDA accepted these results, meaning that acacia was recognized as a dietary fiber. So our study was really the game changer in this dossier. And maybe, Damien, you would like to add some precisions regarding this study?
Sure. Actually, among all clinical studies that has been performed on acacia fiber, one related to the glycemia modulation was already recognized by FDA. So the FDA was expecting a replicable demonstration, a new one that can support the same benefits. So in 2019, Nexira has promoted this third study called complementary clinical trial. And then it was a crossover randomized control trial conducted on healthy population, middle age, both gender. And acacia fiber has demonstrated a significant modulation of glycemia compared to placebo. So the glycemic response to food has been modulated by about 30%.
Fantastic. Well, congratulations to both.
Thank you.
And Nexira.
Maybe I can add just maybe one point that it was really important for our US customers because the one using our brand, Inavea and Fibergum, this approbation means for them that they can use our acacia fiber and claim fiber on their product. And you know that the fiber gap is really huge. I think that more than 90% of Americans do not meet the recommended intake for fiber. This is huge. I mean, more than 90%. And these people, they do not meet this recommendation just because it's not easy to have a healthy diet. So they need to find on the market fortified products fortified with fiber. And this is where acacia can help because it's really easy to use. You can use it in nutritional powders, beverages, cereal bars. So we are convinced it has a huge potential for food and drink manufacturers. Plus it's natural and organic, and we even have this other certification being carbon neutral. So it's really interesting for our customers.
That's great. And actually, Julie, I'd love to know a little bit more. You mentioned carbon neutral, and Nexira has really done a number of efforts in the areas of sustainability. Could you talk about some of your sustainability efforts and the work that you've done to get certified carbon neutral?
Yeah, so Nexira is involved in sustainable development since early 70s. We worked with a French NGO, which is called SOS Sahel. We have participated in many actions, local actions in Africa. So for example, we have supported the plantation of 2 million trees, 2 million acacia trees, which is a huge number. We also have contributed to the construction of water points, a new school. We also encourage women participation in acacia business. And we wanted to go beyond sustainability. This is why we thought of carbon neutrality. And this is how we have launched our new brand Inavea in 2021. being the first ingredient brand carbon neutral. So this certification was done in 3 steps. The first one was to measure our carbon emissions. Secondly, we have to set up a reduction plan. And the third step is to offset our remaining emissions. In my point of view, the second step is the most important one because it's a real commitment to reduce your emission. It means that you have to invest, and it's really show your strong commitment in this action.
Damien, was there anything you wanted to add on the work that Nexira has been doing on the sustainability side?
Sustainability. I'm more dedicated to scientific demonstration,
Okay.
but I can give you maybe more information about what we are doing. Actually, the gum acacia is probably an unknown fiber, so we can have a very short look at this activity. Briefly, this is a specific and adjustable fiber, which is with a huge molecular weight, an arabidopteran, rather complex. So it makes the fiber very resistant. So because of this resistance, it gives a very slow progressive fermentation profile in the guts, and then provide a high tolerability as demonstrated in human. So the studies that demonstrated the prebiotic activities of this fiber started in the 80s. There are plenty of studies, even in human, demonstrated that gum acacia can impact lactobacillus or bifidobacterium families, and more specifically Bifidobacterium longum or Faecalibacterium prosnisi, as we demonstrated recently, which is interesting for the inflammation modulation in the gut. And because of this activity, health benefit has been also substantiated in the literature. So there are plenty demonstration of health benefit in human, even at the human stage. I mean, for insulinemia modulation, for glycemia modulation, and also for gut inflammation modulation and kidney health. More recently, what Nexira is doing with this fiber, we thought that the transit and the digestive air was not enoughly substantiated, so we just have finished with during a consortium and hosted by Wageningen University. We have demonstrated that gum acacia can have an impact on constipation and on stool frequency improvement. So we are valuing this study right now. As Julie mentioned, we are working on the combination with gum acacia, acacia fiber, and baobab fiber, which have demonstrated synergistic activity in promoting Akkermansia, which is a trendy family of microbe in the gut, supporting fat mass modulation and benefit for metabolic health. We also are working right now what we call emerging prebiotics, the polyphenols, in order to demonstrate in vivo in animal that they can modulate the microbiota. And then the next plan is to explore if it can have complementary activities with gum acacia and what could be the benefit to combine them together. And we are also working in an approach where we are combining different fiber sources. It's important to have a diversified source of fibers because you can then promote the index of diversity of microbiota. We know that gum acacia can promote it, we have demonstrated it, but we want to look if we can go further in index diversity of microbiota by combining different sources of fiber with acacia gum. And we are also looking at the immunity. As you probably know, the prebiotic activity engage some health benefit regarding immunity support. So it's also one of our topics.
So exciting. Lots of stuff to for us to circle back with you on in the future, for sure. I want to just ask you, Damien, as well, in close, as the prebiotic category continues to power the microbiome, what would you like to see for this category?
Yes, so microbiota is booming everywhere. So you know that implication of gut microbiota is probably, in terms of health benefits or health concern, is probably a never-ending topic. So the link between microbiota and some health concern is more and more explored. I think that regarding metabolic health, the sustentation is now required. We know that this link is strong and robust in terms of demonstration. So I assume that other approaches are coming. All of them will require a lot of robustness in terms of scientific studies, but we are seeing from probiotic exploration probably that the gut-brain axis is very trending and very interesting. I am assuming that because of prebiotic activities are also potent in this field, we should see on the market in the prebiotic category more and more substantiation for gut-brain axis and probably has benefit related to stress and sleep. And we should probably expect some other axes. If the science can support it, we should expect other axes like skin axis, for example, or each kind of actually long-term or chronic inflammation which implicate the gut microbiota. So why not, for example, the gut joint axis, which probably could appear in coming years. But regarding prebiotic category, I think that's if we look at the gut microbiota, the substantiation was appearing because of probiotic exploration at the beginning, I assume. So actually, the scientific demonstration from prebiotics are also very potent. So I think that we should anticipate or try to work in terms of more recognition of this prebiotic activity in order to support health benefits, in order to achieve recognition from consumer actually. I think that both can be complementary actually. For example, it could be very challenging for probiotic strain to be implemented in the gut because of unfavorable context, the stress, the nutrients, and so on. And prebiotic could fit the right strain in order to naturally recover this population in the gut. So I think that both can be complementary. I also would like to thank GPA because you are working in this field, the recognition of prebiotic ingredients, and we are expecting and hoping higher collaboration with probiotic in order to go further in health benefit demonstration, and for sure, symbiotics probably a nice opportunity.
Thank you. Well, thank you both so much for your time today. Is there anything that I didn't ask you that you would like to add?
It's not something to add, but maybe a little conclusion. Just to summarize, because I think we've talked a lot about all the fields of acacia, and I really think it's a fabulous ingredient. It's let's say a holistic ingredient because it checks several boxes. As said, it's a fiber. It's also a prebiotic with benefits on gut microbiome, but also on general health. And I think it's a great ingredient to satisfy consumer demands because consumer is also looking for organic, natural, and clean label ingredients. So it's even carbon neutral. What can you ask more? I mean, and it's also really easy to use. And I know also from your consumer study that people are looking for maybe more functional food and beverage also to consume prebiotics. So it's really interesting to address this kind of consumers.
Great. Well, thank you. Well, Damien and Julie, thank you so much for taking some time to spend with us to share info about Nexira and all the exciting things you have going on. And we will probably need to have you back for a future GPA Member Spotlight after to follow up on some of the things you shared.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.